You know exactly what to do, right? And still you're not doing it. And this is not because of a case of not caring, right? Nor is it because you are lazy, because something in you have decided that moving forward is not safe. And today we are going to talk about that, right? That's what we're focusing on today's video. And this is actually episode one of a four trap series we're doing. Four episodes, four patterns that keep capable interpreters and translators stuck. And a free resource at the end of each one to help you find out which trap is yours. So let's get into it. All right. So let me start off with when I remember a time, yeah, when I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to start seeing myself as an interpreter, not a student, not someone who was almost there, not someone waiting for another qualification or another person's approval, right? An interpreter. And I knew this. People around me were encouraging me, right? I had done the work. I have put in the hours. I have gained the experience. And yet, if someone asks me, and then what did you do? Or what I did, I would find myself softening, like I said, "Yeah, I do a bit of interpreting. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm just, you know, there's always a just in the conversation. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to own it. And I found every reason not to. What if people thought that I wasn't good enough? What if someone asked me something that I didn't know how to sign it or what that word meant or whatever that is? What if I made a mistake and it showed that I never had, should have never called myself the interpreter? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no. Looking back, I wasn't waiting for experience. I was waiting for certainty. And certainty never came. It never showed its brake lights. And here is what was actually happening to me in that moment. And it wasn't a case of laziness and it wasn't a case of lack of ambition on my part. It was just the avoidance trap. It was showing up for me, and it shows up for a lot of capable interpreters all the time. You know your stuff, you know what needs to be done. You put yourself forward, apply for that assignment, charge the rates you deserve. We know what to do. Speak up in the room. Call yourself an interpreter, a translator, call it. Instead, you wait. You prepare a little more, right? You do one more thing, thinking, okay, yeah, you tell yourself, when I feel ready, oh my goodness, I tell you, the amount of times I've had conversations with people say, okay, when I'm like, I would have been clocking by now. I will do it. It's always the case. But here is what I know now, 20 plus years in. Avoidance is not laziness. It is protective. It's a protection pattern that is going on, that is happening. Your nervous system can't tell the difference, right? Between real danger, right? And danger of being seen, of getting it wrong, of not being enough, of, uh, so it does what it was designed to do, right? It's designed to keep you safe. And so you're still. So technically, your brain's doing its work. Your nervous system's responding. And this is not a motivation problem. It is a safety problem. And by the way, through it all, it's not to wait until you feel ready. That's not the goal and that's not the plan. It is to start before you do. That's it. I had to start calling myself an interpreter before I fully believed it. I had to say, I'm that interpreter, even though people know about rudeness, like if they like catch me out, if they know that I'm not fully like there. Like, when like you're fully qualified, it is you have you have the license to go and practice. You're like, when you drive a car, right? And you pass. It doesn't mean you're now the safest human being ever. It just means you're safe to drive. Same is true for interpreting. So it is okay to call yourself the interpreter while you are still getting and being that which you are. Putting the practice in, putting the work in, doing all that thing. You are safe to practice, and so be it. You are that interpreter, you are that translator. But that was so uncomfortable for me. But the work itself was not going to be part of what made me ready. Certainty does not come before the action. You can't be, yes, I'm it, and then, okay, now no. It comes because of it. As you are taking the action, as you are putting yourself out there, as you are taking and facing whatever that is, you start getting that certainty that I am it. I'm doing the work, right? That's how it comes, not the other way around as most of us think it does. So here's one thing to interrupt that avoidance pattern that is showing up. And before it actually takes over you, because it can do. Because the next time you notice yourself stalling, ask yourself this one question. What is the smallest possible version of this that I can do right now? What does that get to look like for you? Not the whole picture of like, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I'm doing. What is that smallest one thing? Is it that you can send that message, make that call, put yourself, write that first line, move, apply to join that agency you've been avoiding. Any movement tells your nervous system that this is safe. And with that safety, this is how pattern starts to shift, right? Me saying I show up here every single day. It's been what, 7 months in now? Now my nervous system feels like, look, this is part of how we show up, who we are. I've had a long day of work, of interpreting, waving my hands and doing all these things, but I know that, look, we do this every single day. So we get to show up and build this muscle than having the dread of wanting to do this. So when we start shifting the pattern that causes the avoidance, that causes the things that make us to hesitate or to avoid all these things, starts to reassure our nervous system and our brain that we are okay, that we are cool. And if this landed for you, and it like, it makes sense. And if you recognize yourself in any of what I've just said, I want you to get and download the free Interpreter's Identity Audit. It will show you exactly which trap you are facing right now. So there's no guesswork. There's no need to hoping. There's nothing of like, it is knowing. So the link will be in the description box of this video. Go complete it. It's free. Go and find your pattern. Go and find what is it they're doing. So we've just tackled one of the 4 traps. Come back tomorrow, right? Because in episode 2, we're going to be facing the fear loop. Yeah. The trap that keeps interpreters from being seen. Even when they know, they might not know. Even when they're ready, right? And this one is a whole conversation on its own, right? So see you tomorrow. I am Nene. We do this every single day. Remember that your voice matters and it is your time to use it. Bye for now.